Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Gabriel. I'm a first year medical student, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 3 tips for international students applying to US medical schools. First of all, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more content on international students and applying to US medical schools. I'm also going to chronicle my journey throughout Harvard Medical School. I'm currently a first year student, and I hope you guys join me on that journey. So go ahead and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. My first tip for international students applying to US med schools will be to start early. I say start early because the process is long and arduous, and to really be on top of your game and to feel confident going in, you really want to start early. And by start early, I mean start in your freshman year of college, or even before that if possible. So a lot of international students come to the US for the first time, usually in college. So in your early years in college, you definitely want to start researching how to get accepted, the kind of schools you might be interested in, what kind of academic requirements you may need to complete to apply to US medical schools, how to be competitive as an applicant. A lot of the med schools that do accept international students in the US are schools that require that you be very competitive. So out of about, say, over 100 med schools in the US, I'd say less than 20 of those med schools reliably accept international students. Out of these schools that do accept international students, almost all of them are top Ivy League schools like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Dartmouth. So to really get accepted to those type of schools, obviously you need to be a strong candidate. You need to get good stats. You need good stats, so you need a strong GPA, a strong MCAT score. But besides that, you also need really strong and unique extracurricular activities. They're going to help you stand out. You definitely want to start early to build your resume. For instance, a lot of these top schools require that you have research under your belt. So you want to start early, maybe freshman year, sophomore year, start looking for research opportunities, volunteer with professors, get paid summer research opportunities. They're hard to find for international students, but definitely if you look out there, there are a few that you can find. Apply to those. Build up your resume in other ways, and that will help you stand out by the time you get to your third year, fourth year, and you're applying to US med schools. My second tip is stand out. So for international students, you already have an advantage of being a foreign student coming to America. So you have a different lens, you have a different perspective, you have a different background and experiences that you can bring to the US, and med schools really value that. They want students who have a diverse background, and not just racial diversity, which is what a lot of people think of when you talk about diversity, but diversity in terms of thought, in terms of expression, in terms of background, in terms of interests. Med schools really want a diverse class, because the more diverse a class is, the more students can learn from each other and grow. So in your application, you definitely want to emphasize your foreign background, because it's going to give the admissions committee something to look at. They really like diversity. Talking about taking advantage of your foreign background or your foreign country, what you want to do, or what you can do, is during summer visits back to your home country, you can join organizations or start an organization or do something back home, and especially medically related. That gives you a unique perspective on how medicine goes on in not just the US, but in other countries. And actually, that was one of the most asked questions I got on the interview trail from a lot of top schools. They wanted to know how they thought my unique background coming from Nigeria compared to the US healthcare system, and has my experiences informed my take on healthcare systems and what we could do to improve the healthcare systems. So it does help to gain meaningful experiences in your home country as well as here in the US if you do get a chance to go back home. Personally, I did not get a chance to really go back home during college. I only went back to Nigeria once in my junior year for about a week, but that was to implement a research project on mental health in high schools in Nigeria. Personally, I'm passionate about mental health, and I like to think about ways mental health can be improved, mental health care can be accessed more, and ways in which we can reduce the cost of healthcare in general. So going back home to do that project really taught me a lot, but I think it was a really strong part of my application because I am interested in global health. And it is one thing to just say you're interested in global health. It's another thing to actually be involved in global health projects as a college student and be really making an impact. So if you're an international student and you're interested in global health, especially in healthcare in your country, you should definitely use that as an opportunity to do more work in your country. So my third tip, I would say, think about finances. Think about your finances. The financial component of a U.S. medical education is huge in terms of you being able to matriculate. On average, I would say the cost of a U.S. medical education is about $400,000 or probably $300,000. And a lot of medical students come out in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So you definitely want to research early about financing options. If you have parents who might be able to pay for you to go to school, then you have less to worry about. But if you come from a low-income family, then you definitely want to focus on figuring out what schools might be able to give you financial aid and what schools don't. A lot of the schools you end up applying to as an international student probably don't give financial aid. There's some that do. Off the top of my head, I know Harvard and Yale medical schools give pretty generous financial aid for international students. So if you're a low-income student or come from a low-income background, low-income family background, these scholarships are based on need, demonstrated need. So as long as you can demonstrate that your family is not super well-to-do and you need the money, they'll give you a lot of aid. And that's how personally I was able to secure a full tuition scholarship to Harvard Medical School. If you have more questions about that, definitely ask me in the comment section. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think are the top challenges you face as an international student? Comment in this video and I'll be sure to answer your question. So that's the end of the video. Like this video, subscribe, and share. I'm going to be posting a lot more content and I hope to see you guys in the next video.